To the current emerging elders, I hope that together we will see this diverse culture, Australian, Aboriginal Australia, get the respect that it should have always had. And I wish this for our community. I wish it for people of diverse sexuality, I wish it for people of diverse gender, and I wish it for myself. And I know that as I step out of Mardi Gras, there is so much more work to be done. But there are so many of you to help do it. I want to thank and acknowledge and celebrate the community that's achieved so much over 41 years, but I particularly want to thank Team Mardi Gras in this community for what we have done in 4 years. As CEO, we are only custodians. We are caretakers of something much bigger than us. And there are so many of those people in the room tonight, so know that you've made a difference. Because if we forget that we make a difference in these roles, it's too easy to lose sight of the vision. It's too easy to become exhausted, potentially bitter, potentially just overwhelmed by the sheer hours that you put into these works. And also, potentially and often, the relentless criticism. And then, there's this shiny month of the year that comes around about March, and everything goes glittery. It's personifying, it's electrifying, and I don't mean by the party enhancers. I mean by the sheer joy of so many thousands of people coming together to celebrate difference. It's palpable, it's exciting, and other than the annual Fred Nile weather analysis, Mardi Gras seems to inject a pause in the life of everyday Australia. And it's palpable. It's where we get to dance our dance and talk our talk. But what happens when that biodegradable, 100% edible, consumable, 100% natural food diet stuff that used to be called glitter fades into the closure of Mardi Gras? And I want to read a quote. I'm quoting Simon Longstaff from the Ethics Australia. There's times in history of every nation where its character is tested and defined. Too often it happens with war. It happens with disasters or economic collapse. And then the shouting gets all our attention. But there are also our quieter moments, the ones that reveal the solid truths about who we are and what we stand as a nation. And I think that we're in one of those moments right now. How will we respectfully acknowledge Aboriginal and First Nations people? How will we accept and acknowledge people of diverse sexuality and diverse gender? What will we do if we have to choose between China and the United States? How do we create passage for people seeking asylum? And these are just a few of the questions that we're facing as a nation. Mardi Gras creates a safe place for all of us to come together and to talk about the issues that are part of our world and part of our community. And I hope that Mardi Gras continues to do that great work, not just 1 month of the year, but continue what it's doing now over the other 11 months of the year to ensure that our community doesn't go back into hibernation and we don't lose our precious ones through the cracks. I want to give mention to our resilient trans and gender diverse community. I know that you're going through an incredibly hard time at the moment in this goddamn political climate, but know that we've got your back and we stand for you. I want to acknowledge the amazing LGBTQI agencies across Australia who work so hard to support our fragile community. ACOM, 2010, Aurora, Bobby Goldsmith, Sydney Pride, the Inner City Legal Centre, Equality Australia, just to name a few. And our government partners, Department of Premier and Cabinet, Destination New South Wales, City of Sydney. And I want to mention those organisations because together, in partnership, we have shown that we can work with government to make impactful change for our community. And it's been joyful working with those agencies. Mothership Events, Justin Nika, Fourth Wall, Alex Dowse, who bring life to our events in the most superhuman event teams yet. Where are you, Alex? There you are. to the amazing city services that actually make Mardi Gras happen. Traffic management, Greg Mooney. Risk and reward, Kathy Pavlich. The AMBOs, the fireys, of course, the New South Wales Police, under the leadership of the amazing Changemaker, Assistant Commander, Police Commissioner, the amazing Anthony Crandall. Represented here tonight by Gavin Dengate and the most amazing quiet achiever, we know who she is, Jackie Brawl. Our important creative partners that we've invested over the last 4 years. Really great and ongoing investments, and partnerships really are the way of the future. We must work in partnership, share resources, our knowledge and our dollars. The New South Wales Art Gallery, the National Arts School, the Seymour Centre, First Nations Rainbow, and of course Choreograph, our first dedicated Aboriginal First Nations program that we're so proud of, and every year that program goes from strength to strength. It's been an amazing 4 years. I don't think there will ever be another job quite like it. I have absolutely loved it, and I've absolutely been challenged by it. And what's a job if we're not being challenged? I have seen 4 boards through their tenure. I have worked with 5 different combinations of co-chairs. And every one of those boards has brought passion and dedication to wanting to make change to this community, and I commend them. I also want to acknowledge the current board for the work that they've done for the initiative of World Pride. This amazing initiative for our community in Sydney, and they have worked so hard to make this happen. Our volunteers, they always get done as a job lot, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to put some names to the label. So, Liz Dodds, Damon Hartley. Don't ever go changing and never hold back on coming forward with what you believe in. And I mean that wholeheartedly, and I know you will deliver. Louis Hudson. I met Louis in parade meetings, but one day I was sitting in the office and Louis kind of waltzed in with this kind of amazing belt thing, like tradie armour. It was dripping with power tools, and he was covered in concrete dust, and he was sweating, and he had that stuff that boys have, starts with T. And he waltzed into the room and single-handedly just drilled up 2 massive LCD screens in both our meeting rooms, then packed up his tool bag, swaggered out to have dinner with his mother. And I was like, am I in a Coke ad? Are we in a Coke ad? Never underestimate our volunteers. I also want to make mention of 2 long-serving volunteers that I worked with at the beginning of my CEO, Dave Stevenson and Eamon Lorraine. And yeah, when I started as CEO, I changed the management structure of how volunteers worked on Fair Day to make sure that volunteers weren't working in management positions without being paid. But let's never forget that before that, people did work in those volunteer roles, and when they were in them, they gave hours and hours of their life. Thank you to them. The extraordinary medical team. Jem. The indefatigable Jen Masters, you're amazing, and your amazing team. My God, we are so dedicated. You're so dedicated to the care of our community. You can continue to amaze and delight. Mardi Gras could not do what it does without this medical team, and we love them. Brandon Baird, Damien Hodgkinson, Fran Bowen, thank you for your amazing generosity to Mardi Gras, but also for being the most fantastic mentors to me. When I started at Mardi Gras, on my first day I walked in, there were really 2 people working in the office. They were Sam Hartland, where are you, Sam? And Lisa Gilbert, where are you, Lisa? Yeah, and there was Fran holding the fort at bay. It was incredible. And lastly, the dream team. I talk about them a lot, but every single one of the staff over the last 4 years that have worked at Mardi Gras have been incredible, and they've lived a life into Mardi Gras and allowed a Mardi Gras vision to actually grow. Greg Clark, where are you? amazing working with Greg, and he has left such an incredible creative legacy at Mardi Gras, particularly on parade. And Greg, your artistry, you brought back social justice into that parade, and you brought back such beautiful, amazing community involvement, and your legacy will absolutely, definitely go on. Thank you. And I know I leave a good and a great and a wonderful legacy to the next leaders. It's the wonderful team that they're going to get to work with. They are cheeky, they're smart, they're dedicated to really bad humour. They go above and beyond every single time, and I'm going to miss them enormously. Thank you to all the staff in 4 years that are here tonight. And that's nearly it. I now get to spend some time with my partner of 29 years. The amazing Libby Ellis. And my babies, Boo, Betty, and Billy. I want to make sure that the Fearless Caftan makes its way to the archives. We'll make that happen. And best of luck to the wonderful Grant Lowe, who'll be acting CEO over the next couple of months. Good luck. And I realised I did miss. No questions. Okay, there are two other people that I need to make mention of. One is Paul Truscott. Where are you, Paul? Oh, there you are. Paul, at my first AGM, you stood up the back and you bellowed at me. Who are you? Said Paul Truscott. New CEO quivering on their knees. But you got my attention, and I've never taken my eyes off you. You are the most amazing volunteer. And the 78ers, amazing. They taught this new perky CEO a thing or two. The 78ers, 77ers, 76ers, 75ers, 72ers, let's face it, anyone born before 1960 has left the most amazing passage. And I thank them for that. And to the next CEO, best of luck with that. So, without further ado, I will see you at the Caftan party.